What is going on YouTube? Dad with a bike, and welcome to another episode on the channel. And today's video we're actually going to do an on-bike review of this helmet right here. That is right, I am sporting the Shoei RF-1400 and it is pretty dang awesome. So if you're interested, I'll give you my breakdown on it in just a minute. We'll be back. Alrighty y'all, thanks for sticking around, and if you are new to the channel, do me a favor and stab that subscribe button. It is free, doesn't cost you a dime. And if you like this video, hit the like. If you don't like it, leave me a comment, let me know why. I'm always looking to, make my content much better. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll put it up here. I posted a picture the other day on Instagram of a Porsche emblem. I have a new project that is brewing that I am going to be excited to bring to YouTube, and it's specifically for my daughter. So for her 16th birthday, we bought her a Porsche. No, we didn't do anything kind of stupid and buy her like some super fancy Porsche, so don't judge me. It's a first gen Porsche 986, which is the Boxster. It's a 97, and she and I are going to work on rebuilding a lot of it together. It is my way of trying to transition my knowledge, or what little I have, to my daughter, so she can handle working on vehicles herself. And you know, a Porsche is one hell of a fun way to do that. So stay tuned, because I'll drop some links at some point in time to that channel once I get all that stuff set up and I get the Instagram stuff set up, and it'll really be about her, this Porsche, and actually working on it. So a few weeks ago I dropped a video that complained so much about Ruroc. I'm going to have another video soon, because Ruroc actually answered back to me and have asked me to do something for them, and I'm going to do a video all about it, because it's nice that they reached out to me. It's nice what they're trying to get accomplished, and they did send me the newest version of their helmet to review, and I will be honest about that review, so don't think I won't, because that's their attempt at making everything right because of all the problems I've had with the helmet. So that will come in a handful of weeks once I get some ride time in it or whatever. But if you really want to see the best, possibly the best breakdown on Ruroc, and actually Ruroc in comparison to the RF-1400, check out this video. I'll throw a link also, down in the subscription. The Gears and Gadgets guy, he actually cut the two helmets apart. It was probably the most expensive video he has ever done. And he did one hell of a job at breaking down the differences between the two, and why Shoei just dollar for dollar outperforms, given that the Ruroc 3.0 or the Ruroc Atlas 3.0 costs the exact same, give or take, as an RF-1400 without graphics. So I'll link that, because that's a really important video for anybody interested in either Ruroc or Shoei. So some may ask, why is my opinion important about helmets, blah blah blah. I've been riding for a really long time, and I've had an array of helmets. Bell Qualifier, Icon Airflight, Icon Airform. I've had Sedicis, I've had AGVs, I've had Arise, I've had Rurocs. I have had a plethora of helmets, and I wanted to take the opportunity and buy an actual honest-to-goodness premium helmet. So I did my research, and I landed on the RF-1400 for a few reasons. It's the newest helmet. It replaced the RF-1200. There has been a lot of raves about this helmet. It's only a few months out on the market. Everything that I've read, independent reviews, you can't go wrong with Shoei. And actually the guy at Gears and Gadgets does really good at explaining user reviews, because he pointed out that Ruroc actually doctors their user reviews, because you have to go through this like a trusted review thing, so they get an opportunity to challenge reviews. And if you look for reviews on Shoei's, you get to go to places like Revzilla, Cycle Gear, all these places that sell the helmet independently, that don't give a crap about whether or not you buy a Shoei. But there you can actually see everybody's experience with helmets and whatever. So that was a good place for me to kind of go look and really dig through what it is that I wanted to buy. So I bought this helmet from, where the hell did I buy it? Cycle Gear. And I went there and I tried on a handful of different helmets. I tried on a new Arai, I forget what it was. I tried on, what did I try on? I tried on a Schubert. And then I also tried on the Neotech, and I tried on this as well. And the GT Air. What is this dude doing? And of all the helmets that I tried on, when I put the Shoei on this RF-1400 on first, it seemed to fit right away. Now, one of the things that happens, like with my Ruroc, is I could grab the face shield and I could actually shift the helmet and left to right. There was a lot of wiggle room, and the Gears and Gadget guy does a good job at breaking down why that is, so I won't get into that. But when I threw the Shoei on, it did not move, and it just fit, and it felt so much better than any of the other helmets that I was trying on and I put on. So it really fit my head super well. That's kind of one of the most important things for me, at least initially, is that it fits and it's comfortable, because, you know, I do a lot of riding, so it's got to be super comfortable. The one thing that I do have to point out about the comfort on this thing is when you first put this on, the cheek pads on this helmet are really tight. They're still kind of tight. But I think that's actually on purpose, because when you put this helmet on, it makes such an amazing seal to keep the air out. And it's great. I don't have any whistling in my ears or any of that stuff. So the seal, the comfort, all that stuff that it makes around your noggin when you throw it on is muy bueno. So I tried it on. It fits well. It's a little heavier than my Ruroc, but it's one of the lighter helmets that Shoei has. And it's not, it's not super heavy. It's like 3.6, 3.7. I don't know. You can go look up the specs. I'm not going to do a spec dump on y'all on this helmet. But it's, it feels normally weighted like a normal helmet would. So the weight's not an issue. So overall comfort when I put it on my head is great. It's still good today. Like, this helmet is really, really comfortable. I really like the comfort on it. And the weight doesn't bother me. It does a really good job, I guess, through the aerodynamics of the helmet of keeping it well balanced on my head. I don't feel like it's like dragging my body down. I don't feel like it's pushing my head forward. So comfort-wise is great. So because of that and because of the airflow and some of the things that comes with it out of the gate, for example, the when you buy the Shoei, the RF-1400, I don't know if this is true about all Shoeis, but the RF-1400, it comes with a pin lock insert. So, that's awesome, because most other people will charge you $30 for a pin lock. It's thrown in as part of the deal when you buy this helmet. Now, when you do buy this helmet, the visors, you're only getting the clear. You can go buy other visors, but right now it's really hard to buy visors for this helmet. Some of them just aren't out yet. They're making a transition visor for this helmet. It's supposed to come out in October, so I'm on the waiting list for that, because I did like the transition visor that was on my Bell qualifier. That was pretty epic. So I'd like to have the same kind of thing on this that transitions clear to dark depending on the sun, so I don't got to wear sunglass inserts. But speaking of sunglass inserts, my sunglasses, they just slide right in. I think they've engineered this helmet so well that when I slide my sunglasses in, they just slide in. They don't even fall out. So if I flip my visor up and I'm going, flying down the road with my visor up, my glasses don't move around, so they're secure. I just don't have to wrestle with putting them on. And they've got a really thoughtful channel built in where sunglasses would slide. Now, the other thing to note about this helmet is the safety ratings. So if you follow Fortnine, he kind of gives safety ratings he goes a few rounds with safety ratings and why they aren't what they are or not what they say they are. However, I'm still of the mindset that the more ratings the better when it comes to safety. If I go down, I want my noggin to be safe. So this helmet is DOT, ECE, and Snell. So for you guys who want a good helmet that is track worthy and street worthy, goodbye. Now, one of the first things that I actually did when I bought this helmet, as soon as I got it home, was I threw my comm system in. I threw my SIN on it, threw the speakers in. And they've got some really thoughtful pockets for the speakers. So it's actually built into the shell. You know, if you go watch the Gear and Gadgets video, you'll see how they're built in the shell, and they are uber thoughtful. And you know, they will let you put your speakers in there. They get recessed in there quite nicely, and you can't, like, I can't feel them in the helmet at all. I know they're there because I jam out the music, and you know, they're there, so I know they're there. But you just can't feel them. I could feel them in almost every other helmet I had. Like the Ruroc, I can tell you for certain I could feel them. I could feel them in my bell. I could feel them in my Icon Airflight, but I can't feel them in this, but I know they're there. Now, the reason why it's important about talking about when I put my my comm system in is because, you know, you got to take all the pads out to put your comm system in. And that, I think, is where you find where Shoei separates themselves from inner design. The padding that is in this helmet, you can tell was engineered for the human head. I mean, it fits everything. I have no wear marks, you know, and none of that stuff. And like I said, with the cheek pads, they do a really good job at forming around my face. I mean, I truly have it's almost like an airlock when I put this helmet on. So the cheek pads, the interior lining, like, you know, bueno, one hell of a job. And I also think that has a lot to do with the next thing that I'm going to talk about, which is the noise in the helmet. In my opinion, noise is very subjective, right? What may bother me may not bother you, whatever. But in almost every other helmet that I had some kind of a noise. It was either whistling, or I was getting buffeting, and that was kind of flopping my head around in the helmet, or I could just kind of hear the wind ripping through my helmet. When I tried this helmet on at the store, and I put it on and I closed the visor and I shut all the vents, I mean, it was an audible difference. I mean, I went from being able to hear the guy I was talking to, you know, having to be, you know, flip my visor up and be like, what? Because he was talking through his mask. So, you know, one heck of a job on noise canceling in the helmet. And I think there was a lot of redesign that happened from the RF-1200 to the 1400 with regards to, you know, the technology that they're using in the helmet to kind of keep sound in check, wind noise, whistling, all that stuff in check. Because I have very little. This is the only helmet I have ever owned where I do not need to wear earplugs. I mean, there probably are some people out there that are saying, "Oh, you should always wear earplugs," but I don't have to in this helmet, and that's great. It's so quiet, so I can hear my exhaust, but it's not obnoxious. And I know my exhaust is obnoxious because I have friends that won't ride next to me because they're like, "Dude, your exhaust, it's killing me." I can hear my audio so clear when I'm riding. I'm doing 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour down the road, and I can just jamming out to my tunes because I can hear them so much more clearly in this helmet than any other helmet that I've ever owned. And that in of itself is worth the price of admission, because like I was always trying to figure out ways that I could get sound better in my helmet, you know, so I could listen to my music and whatnot when I'm out riding. And boy, this helmet did it. Like, I don't need to do anything else. I just put the helmet on, turn music on, and go. And, you know, the fact that there is no wind noise in my helmet, it does a good job at keeping the exhaust note out of my helmet. I can still hear ambient things, like if a siren or something's going off, I can still hear that. But it's pretty darn solid. And it cancels out so much noise. It's great. I love it. It's one of those things you just have to try it on at the store. So as far as like noise in the helmet when I'm cruising down the road, man, I don't think I could find I truly don't think I can find a better helmet than this for that. Now, I've been talking about all the great things about this helmet, so amazing, blah blah blah, and it is. There's one thing that I do not like about this helmet, and that is how you raise the visor. Now, I think that the way they have the visor on here and the seal that it makes is why it is so dang quiet, one of the reasons. But it sure is annoying. So you can I'll let you see it. So right here, there's a thing you got to push, and it's hard to find. You got to push it and then you can lift it up. And that to me is annoying. I'm sure I'll get used to it, but for right now it sure is annoying as hell. Now the last thing I'm going to talk about is airflow. It's funny, when I was mentioning to like Saftey on Saftey and Sprinkles channel that I was getting the Shoei, he's like, oh man, I think he was telling me he tried the RF-1400. I forget what he was telling me he tried, but he said it felt like he was breathing through a pillow. And I can tell you what, when you close all the vents, like right now I've got all the vents closed on this helmet, I concur. It is like I'm breathing through a pillow. So I'll only close all the vents when I am out, recording and stuff, doing some vlogging stuff. But if I'm just out, normally riding and whatnot, I'm gonna have me some vents open. Now, when you do open the vents, the airflow is phenomenal. It's perfect, right? It's got a chin vent. It's got this vent at the top, which articulates really well, and then it's got two vents right here. So they're really easy to work with your glove. You can get to them and manipulate them really easily with your motorcycle gloves on. So the vent location and the vents themselves do one hell of a job, and it does make the airflow superb in this helmet. However, Saftey is dead on. When you've got your vents closed, it is like breathing through a pillow. So I guess that's a good thing and a bad thing. I don't know. It's a thing. So just, when you go to the store, and I highly recommend you do it, to try helmets on. Try it on and see if that bothers you. It doesn't bother me, but it does bother some. So I'm almost to where I need to be. And in closing, we'll go ahead and knock this out now. I think that this helmet is amazing. If you get the matte, or not the matte, but the non-graphic colors, you're gonna walk out the door about $550, $600. This one, if you buy this graphic or any of the other graphics that Shoei has, you're gonna pay $650 or so. So it's a pricey helmet, but I can tell you, it is worth every penny. Even the little nitpick things that I have, I'm like, those are just little things I need to get used to. But all in all, one hell of a buy, one great helmet. And if you're looking for what a helmet is supposed to be like, go try on the Shoei RF-1400. And with that, I'm going to leave you. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be nice to one another. Be kind, be safe, all that good stuff. And most of all, peace.